Coming to you live from the fabulous MediaPlex in downtown Windsor, this is a St. Clair College journalism presentation.
Hi, I'm Mitchell Brandner, and you're watching MediaPlex News Now. The University of Windsor has begun renovations to the old Windsor Star building in downtown Windsor. Liam Higgins reports on the transformation of an old building to a new campus.
Construction is underway at the old Windsor Star building. The building that is expected to be completed by fall 2014 will be the future home of social work and the Center for Executive and Professional Education. Construction Superintendent Andrew Kwok said the demolition that just started last Monday is starting to pick up.
We just started last Monday, so everything is okay right now. Just starting, so we're getting busy, more people coming in. We try to finish the demolition majority by maybe before Christmas.
If you have any old business attire, you can help out local residents. Taylor Desjardins reports from Aerotech Clothing Drive.
Aerotech, located at 4510 Rhodes Drive in Windsor, is holding a business clothing drive that will help Windsorites who need these types of clothes for professionalism in the workplace. Mike Verzosa, contacts manager at Aerotech, said he is very supportive of the idea and feels it benefits the people of Windsor who need these clothes.
It's something that we needed to do for the community. We found a need for it because there are people coming in for interviews that aren't necessarily representing themselves in the best way possible.
Claire Ferris, administrative assistant at Aerotech, who came up with the idea of doing a business clothing drive, is happy of all that has been donated.
Just from our office alone, we have 218 article clothing donations so far, which I'm more than impressed with. Last night when I left work, I had 78, and so in one day alone, we've jumped more than 100 pieces of clothing. We're looking for business clothes, so that would be like suits, button-up shirts, sweaters, modest clothing for women, just dress pants, that kind of regular business clothes. But we're also accepting regular donations as well, just because we want to get as big of a donation as we can. All of our donations will be brought to the new Goodwill Center downtown. It's opening for donations on October 19th at 9 a.m. and we're hoping to be one of the first and largest donations there, just to show our support for the new center that's going in.
Aerotech hopes Windsor will be generous and lend a helping hand to the less fortunate. You can make your donations at 4510 Rhodes Drive in Windsor. Taylor Desjardins, reporting for MediaPlex News Now.
Windsor Airport's plan for a new cargo hub is taking off. Mandy Matthews reports.
Ladies and gentlemen, it gives me great pleasure to announce
the project, which has been 5 years in the planning, was announced to the public October 2nd at the Windsor International Airport. Minister Gary Goodyear of FedDev Ontario called it a cargo hub for Windsor.
And the way to do that is to create critical mass, to bring partnerships together to get all the aspects of building something that can meet the demands of the world and staying ahead of the curve. We call that a cluster or a hub.
The $19.9 million project will include 3 main buildings, including a new research facility at the University of Windsor. Mayor Eddie Francis is looking forward from the 2007 and 2008 economic downturn by committing the project to changing the economy.
The talk that dominated following those headlines and following that economic crisis was, we need to diversify our economy. And most people said, well, how do we do that? This is a good example of how you diversify your economy.
FedEx will move into the new cargo hub in 2015. Minister Gary Goodyear said during the conference that this new project will create 105 jobs for Windsorites. I'm Mandy Matthews reporting for MediaPlex News Now.
Our weather correspondent Sarah Ryrie is out on the corner of Victoria and University. Sarah, how is it out there?
Thanks, Mitch. The weather is currently cloudy with a chance of rain. The high will be 18 degrees Celsius with a low of 15 tonight. I'll be back later with your 3-day forecast. Back to you, Mitch.
Thank you, Sarah. Bell River Arena kicked off a fundraiser for a new recreational facility. Darren Breckles has the story.
Bell River Arena was abuzz with free skating, hot dogs, superheroes, face painting, a video game truck, and later complimentary admission to the Belle River Canadiens game. All to kick off a major fundraising campaign to support a new multi-use recreational facility on nearby Renaud Line.
This is really our community fundraising campaign in that we are looking for a total of $3 million, but our emphasis on a toonie, a loonie, whatever it is, that's important to us.
The new facility will include a 1,000-seat arena, double gymnasium, 8,000 square foot library, an aquatic center, and outdoor facilities too, including soccer fields and walking trails.
We're thrilled with the turnout. We actually was overwhelmed with the support. Clearly we had families, we had multi-generations coming out to the community kickoff. The community is ready and excited to participate and ready for those doors to open.
Olympic bobsledder Suzanne Gavin-Halati competed in the 2006 Torino Games and is a secondary school teacher at Tecumseh Vista Academy. She grew up using the arena in Belle River and feels a new complex would be vital to the community and athletic families like hers.
We are so excited. I know that the arena is where I got my start playing hockey and figure skating, and I'm so happy to be able to offer that to my family, and the skating and the hockey and just being part of the community. It's such an important part of being an athletic family.
Phase 1 of the project is scheduled to be completed by September next year, in time for the Belle River Canadiens to play their home games there. The rest of the facility, including the pool and aquatic center, will be complete by 2015. For MediaPlex This Week, I'm Darren Breckles.
In this segment, Adam L. Bubba shares the latest music news to keep you in tune.
I'm Adam L. Bubba, and this is Music This Week. There's a lot going on, so let's dive right in. It seems that Panic at the Disco is jumping on the wrecking ball wagon with their new music video, Girls, Girls, Boys. Their first single off their album, Too Weird to Live, Too Young to Die. Already hitting 700,000 views, the video is lead singer Brendan Urie singing naked for 3.5 straight minutes with some creative camera angles. Yes, it is creative, but how much longer will this be considered artistic? More than a decade ago, D'Angelo did the same thing with his song Untitled. After 1 month of the House Party tour, A Day to Remember had some riveting news to drop at their Michigan show recently. During their show, vocalist Jeremy McKinnon said they received a legal ruling to release their album Common Courtesy apart from Victory Records.
So we were told that we had to wait on a judge to make a decision if we could put out our next record October the 8th or not. And no kidding you, about 3 hours ago we were told by that same judge that we are legally allowed to release our record.
In national news, London, Ontario rapper Shad K is due to release his new album with Black Box Music this coming Tuesday. The album Flying Colors includes 12 tracks of the innovative Canadian rapper and his thoughts on life and music. In a recent interview with CBC's George Stroumboulopoulos, Shad gave insight into his new album with a track-by-track. If you haven't heard of Harvesting the Fan Festival yet, it's time to get yourself downtown. This time you can't use the excuse of being broke because 90% of the events are free. Over 40 bands and acts have performed since it started at the end of September, and it runs until next week. Started by Marauders in Chlioglu and Benjamin Young Hart 7 years ago, FanFest is Windsor's largest independent inner arts festival. This year saw more than 400 artists apply.
And musically, there are a ton of acts coming down. We're really happy about hosting James Owell's album release. And there is literally a huge amount of touring talent, probably 20 touring bands and 40 local bands, and so of all different mediums enjoying us.
James Owell had his album release show at the Capitol Theatre earlier this week. The album is titled For the World is Hollow and I Have Touched the Sky. Now, I did touch on it earlier, but this week's album of the week is Shad's Flying Colors, released from Black Box Music and Deacon. The album is available on Tuesday. But that is it for this week's update. If you have any comments or want to know if a show's happening near you, tweet us here at the MediaPlex and we'll point you in the right direction. I'm Adam Obaba, and I'll see you next week.
A purchase at a local grocery store had police suspicious. Clara Muska reports.
It was here at the Real Canadian Superstore on Walker Road that police arrested 4 people trying to buy $600 worth of gift cards. Store security were suspicious about the purchases. Turns out for good reason. The grocery store arrest led police to what they say is a credit card production lab.
As a result of that arrest, we discovered what appeared to be a credit card lab in one of the downtown hotels, which consisted of a laptop, embossing machine, a card reader, and several cards that were embossed with credit card data, but the cards themselves were actually gift cards, like vanilla MasterCards and American Express gift cards.
The fake credit cards were being used to buy valid gift cards. Police say the investigation is still ongoing, and they're tracking where exactly the card data was stolen from. The 4 suspects in their early 20s are in custody and awaiting a court date. For MediaPlex News This Week, I'm Claire Muska.
Sarah Ryrie sits down with Fiona McDonald, the program coordinator of the Windsor Life Center, in this week's edition of 5 Minutes With.
Hi, I'm Sarah Ryrie, and today we are spending 5 minutes with Fiona McDonald, the program coordinator of Windsor Life Center. Thank you so much for coming, Fiona. Can you tell us a little bit about the Windsor Life Center?
Absolutely. We are a 12-month residential faith-based program for women 18 and up who struggle with alcohol and drug addiction.
And what is your job there, and how do you relate to them?
I'm a program coordinator at the Windsor Life Center, and I relate to the women because I was in their shoes at one point. I went through a program very similar to the Windsor Life Center, and so I can relate to what they're going through.
Do you think that helps?
Absolutely, 100% it does, yep.
And how big of a problem is this in our community? What are the damaging effects if it's not dealt with?
You know what? The severity of the problem in Windsor is actually huge. There was a statistic posted in the Windsor Star recently saying that Windsor itself has 8 times the provincial average for women who are addicted to prescription medication. Well, there's many different facets to the ugliness of addiction. It robs people from their homes, women from their children, women from their parents, from their marriages, from destiny and purpose in their lives. It brings them to hopelessness. It brings them to institutions, to jails. There's so many different facets to it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, speaking of family and children and friends, and now are those the people that help them get into here, or do they check themselves into the program? How does that work?
The women can be referred to our center, but ultimately they have to take the initial step to entering into our program. They make the phone call to our intake coordinator. It has to be them reaching out for help.
Okay, and they still get to see their family and friends throughout?
Absolutely. The goal is to reconcile them back to their family and restore those homes, right?
That's awesome.
Yep.
What are the human costs, and how are people affected by addiction?
So kind of what I touched on earlier is there are so many different levels. Some people get out when they see that they're not maintaining how they should at their job site. Others go so far as to in and out of institutions, mental institutions, jails and such, crossing many different lines that these women normally would not cross, you know?
Yeah. And what is the need for these women?
The need for these women is emotional and spiritual healing, to know that they're loved, to know that they aren't absolutely hopeless. They need hope in their lives. They need people to come alongside them and to just speak words of hope and believe in them, you know, so that they know their self-worth, so that they regain dignity and integrity and find purpose and a plan for their lives.
That's awesome. They have people like you that let them know that they have self-worth and motivate them, and that's awesome.
Yeah.
And what is the future for somebody going through the program?
So ultimately, we want to reconcile them back to families. We want mothers to be put back in that role, but doing so in a better way. You know, we want them to be contributing members of society. We want them to live out their dreams, whatever it is that they feel that they're here for. We want to prepare them for that. We want to give them transferable skills so that they can go into the job market and live out whatever dreams they have, you know?
Exactly, and I feel like it's the best for them to help others too, just like yourself.
Absolutely.
If somebody wanted to help, what could they do?
There's many different ways to come alongside us at the Windsor Life Center, but ultimately we are not government funded. So we rely solely on the contributions of the community, the people that come alongside us and contribute financially. So you can go on our website and check out different ways to sponsor women, to sponsor the program, to come alongside financially. We can also always use volunteers, and there is always a needs list posted on our website.
Okay, and what do the needs lists usually consist of?
Oh, there's different things all the time, but ultimately because we are non-for-profit, donations for food even, and hygiene products, things like that.
What is success for you as it relates to Windsor Life Center?
You know, really success for me with the Windsor Life Center would be to see these women living in their fullness. Ultimately, some of these women are mothers, and I would love to see them go home and to be able to share the hope that they've regained in their lives, you know, to be able to pour into their families and break that cycle of addiction in their lives. It is cyclical, but they can break the chains. They can break that for generations to come. Ultimately, I would love to see these women go on to whatever it is they feel called to do. You know, some of them have dreams to be speakers. Some of them have dreams to be teachers. Some of them want to pour into the ministry that's pouring into them right now. And to be able to watch that take place, that's success ultimately. For women to stand tall and to grasp onto their dreams, to know that there is limitless possibilities for their lives, that's success. To watch these women walk out and not have to struggle with addiction any longer, but to know that they're ultimately free, that to me is success with the Windsor Life Center. Absolutely.
That's really awesome. These women have very inspiring people to look up to as well there, so that's awesome that they have people like you guys.
And they're amazing women.
Wow. Thanks so much for coming in. We've just spent 5 minutes with Fiona McDonald, Program Coordinator with Windsor Life Center.
A local nutritionist is challenging people to go green for 30 days. Veronica Jerkowski reports.
This is one way to eat fresh veggies, but local nutritionists say it may not be the best way to get the nutrients your body needs every day.
Most North Americans are not consuming anywhere near the minimum of 5 fruits and vegetables per day. So this is a very easy way to get additional fruits and veggies in just by drinking it.
That's right, drinking it. So local nutritionist Melanie Hesketh is issuing a challenge along with the owner of a local vegan gluten-free cafe. Drink 1 green smoothie every day for 30 days. What's a green smoothie?
The base is always some sort of green. It could be anything from kale, broccoli, spinach, mixed greens, parsley, cilantro, and then there's always some sort of fruit.
And she says it may decrease stress, reduce weight, and boost energy levels. Julie Raby has decided to take the challenge.
I'm very sluggish. I'm a night owl. So I find if this is going to give me a kick after I work out and keep me sustained all day long with my kids and everything, I think it's going to work, so I'm willing to try it.
Carrots and Dates owner explains why this event was so important.
So many people think they're eating healthy, think they're doing good, but they actually feel very sick. We're trying to push and motivate people that there's other ways to get better. There's other ways to increase your health benefits.
Nutritionists will check on the progress of the participants partway through. Meanwhile, registrations for the formal challenge are closed, but Melanie Hesketh says anyone can take the challenge at home. For MediaPlex News, I'm Veronica Jerkowski.
In this Health Minute, Mandy Matthews reports on the benefits of quinoa.
It's a grain, it's a seed, it's a superfood. Well, 2 out of 3 isn't bad. Quinoa is a seed, not a grain. Quinoa, spelled Quinoa and pronounced quinoa, is rich with a high-quality protein as well as a good dose of B vitamins, iron, calcium, potassium, magnesium, and vitamin E, which sure pack a healthy punch. None of this is breaking news, at least in South America, where quinoa was revered food for the ancient Inca. When cooked, the germ falls away and retains an ever-so-light crunch, while the seed itself becomes tender and light. To prepare, first boil in 2 parts water to 1 part quinoa. Many varieties of quinoa exist in the Andes. 3 of the most widely available are white, red, and black. Meet the tiny flavor-packed seed that's easy to prepare as white rice. I made this quinoa last night. If you haven't become a quinoa devotee, you're missing out. I'm Mandy Matthews, and this has been your Health Minute.
Let's take a look back outside with our weather correspondent, Sarah Ryrie. Sarah?
Thanks, Mitch. Now here's a little fun fact for the day. Did you know that 24 years ago today, Wayne Gretzky became the first NHL leading point scorer in the game? Now here's your 3-day weather forecast. Wednesday will be isolated showers with a high of 18 and a low of 11. Thursday will be a high of 16 and a low of 9. And Friday will be partly cloudy with a high of 15 and a low of 7. Back to you, Mitch.
Thanks, Sarah. Kyle Simpkins speaks to rookie Ryan Moore of the Windsor Spitfires about the pressures he faces as a 16-year-old on an OHL team.
Being the new kid on the block is never easy, especially if that block is the OHL.
Members of the Windsor Spitfires know this firsthand.
Balancing school and hockey is tough. Coming into the OHL as a 16-year-old, I knew it was going to be a tough thing for me.
The pressures of moving away from home and entering a new school are not the only obstacles. The game itself is a big challenge.
Speed-wise, I think I'm doing a little bit better than the physicality side, because obviously I'm on the smaller side.
Players who move away from home to play for an OHL team live with a billet family. They provide a stable and secure home away from home for the players, many of which are away from their families for the first time.
You know, I just recently moved into a new billet house, so I really love it there. It's been good for me, and I just relax and sitting down with them and kind of watching hockey.
Windsor Spitfires assistant coach Jared Smith says a good billet family is key for the players to be successful.
We're pretty fortunate. We have a lot of our billets have been with us for a number of years, and they continue to return and house some of our kids.
It's not just the rookies who go through the stresses of chasing their dreams. Brady Vale, in his 4th year, he says the veterans take on the role of big brother.
Just the way to carry themselves away from the rink and just to be as good a person as possible.
I asked Moore how the team reacted when he scored his first OHL goal this week.
The boys were excited for me. To get that monkey off my back was huge.
Just kind of give them a good clap in the room after, but the main thing is just being happy for them, and hopefully he gets a bunch more this year.
And it's promising. They're only 8 games into a long 68-game regular season. For MediaPlex News Now, I'm Kyle Simpkins.
A brand new Sportsplex is coming to St. Clair College in early 2014. Let's have a look.
Welcome to the St. Clair College Sportsplex. This ultra-modern 85,000 square foot complex has been designed to provide students and the community with a state-of-the-art facility that promotes fitness, wellness, and healthy lifestyles. The Sportsplex is located on the north side of the campus across from our student residence. This facility will be a huge asset to the college, our Saints varsity athletics programs, and our students. The Sportsplex will also benefit the community at large, as we'll be able to assist the region as it pursues events in the sports tourism industry. St. Clair College will have the ability to partner with other facilities to attract provincial and national tournaments in basketball and volleyball. The Sportsplex will also benefit our students academically in programs that require a physical fitness regime as part of their curriculum, such as paramedic, protection security, and investigation, and our new fitness and health training program, which will launch in September 2014. This facility will also offer significant opportunity to advance other programs in the sports management field as well. The multi-use Sportsplex will feature a triple gym, the only one of its kind in the region. The gym will provide a seating capacity of up to 2,600 spectators. The facility will also boast an indoor elevated running track, 12 new team rooms, meeting space, and academic classrooms. The 10,000 square foot fitness center will be a jewel on campus, as it will contain the latest and state-of-the-art fitness equipment. We look forward to the opening in early 2014 of the newest addition to our campus, the St. Clair College Sportsplex.
Trick or Eat, a program from St. Clair College, is designed to assist less fortunate students with free meals. Rick Dawes has the story.
Anything will do, from craft dinner to cereal to canned fruit. A feast for a post-secondary student. Tuesday marked the ending of Trick or Eat, an annual food drive organized by the college's student council. The week before, volunteers from the school dispersed throughout the neighborhoods surrounding the college and dropped off empty brown bags with a note attached, a plea to help feed less fortunate students. The final step was collecting the goods. SRC President Kate Isley and Director Luis Hurtado, students themselves, say it's a great way to help their peers.
So typically it's one student that volunteers their time in a car, and then 2 other students will go with them. And essentially we go to that area or neighborhood and we just drive down the street nice and slow, and 2 people run out and grab the bags and then bring them back and throw them in the car.
For me personally, I've been in times of need as well, and I've had these options available to me. So being able to give back is a good way of saying, hey, I was there once. I can help out now.
The event began more than 10 years ago and is still meeting demand today. The campus food bank usually helps around 75 students throughout the year.
I just want to say thank you so much to everyone who's involved, because without our volunteers and without all of the neighbors that helped donate, we wouldn't have this program.
The shelves are stocked for the school year ahead. Rick Dawes, MediaPlex News.
It's October and Halloween is approaching. A Sandwich area theater group is celebrating by telling local ghost stories. Michael Veras tells us more.
Creepy things are happening in Sandwich. On Sunday night at Mackenzie Hall, the Purple Theater Company put on a free performance of the Ghost Tour, a storytelling, interactive experience that tells of local history and ghost stories, and takes place both inside and outside Mackenzie Hall. Joey Oled is the creative director of the project.
Well, it is true stories, both ghost stories that people swear are true and history. The two are always intermingled. And there's not going to be anybody jumping out at you saying boo for the most part. Mostly it is, I suppose, what they would call the old school kind of scare, where you hear about things and you go to places where things happened and just kind of soak it up.
Several attendees of all ages enjoyed the performance. Although this was a test run, Mackenzie Hall will sell tickets for repeat performances every evening between October 24th until the 28th. So if you're a fan of ghost stories, get them before they're gone. For MediaPlex News Now, I'm Michael Veras.
You can read our online newspaper and watch our news segments on themediaplex.com. You can also connect with us on Twitter at TheMediaPlex and on Facebook at MediaPlex Canada. I'm Mitchell Brandner. Thank you for watching MediaPlex News Now.
MediaPlex News Now is a production of the St. Clair College Journalism Program.